Welcome to the Teaching Corner. Today I wanted to talk to you about using graphic organizers. We've already used several different graphic organizers, but I wanted to teach you three more today that I haven't shown you before. The one caution with graphic organizers that they talk about in the literature is to be sparing with them. Figure out in your classroom which ones you need to use the most and use those. If you use too many, sometimes students can get confused. That's why I happen to like the one that I use for my paragraph that can go into a 5-paragraph essay, because I can just expand it, and they're used to saying the same thing. They know where certain things go, but different teachers in different situations, different settings are going to need different kinds of graphic organizers. So I wanted to show you three today. The first one I'm going to show you is a cause and effect. Then I'm going to show you a sequence organizer. And the last one I'm going to show you is a Venn diagram. Cause and effect means just that. It's showing the cause and effect of something, and you can do it as simply as having a whole list, a whole category of causes on this side and effects on this side. Or you can have, like, let's say you were talking about World War II, and you would put the topic in the center, World War II, and you might have several different causes and several different effects. And of course you could make a sheet that you just hand out to the students every time that looks the same, that's more expanded than this, but I'm just trying to show you multiple in one go. But anyway, so cause and effect, showing that there were several different reasons why it happened, and then the outcomes, or what happened afterwards, after the war was over. Then the second one is sequencing. So this is simply just simple boxes, and kids can write the sentence, you know, that the 3 little pigs left home, and then they started building their houses, and then the wolf came to first little pig's house and blew the house down, and then he went to the second little pig's house and blew that house down, etc., etc. The nice thing about this too is if you're doing a sequence organizer to show, you can use words like first, then, last, so you can teach them ordinal words if you want to, first, second, third, that kind of thing. Another thing is, if you have kids who are having trouble with writing, this can be done in picture form. You could draw the picture of the little pigs leaving the house, and then draw the picture of him blowing the first little pig's house down, or whatever. So this can be done in multiple ways, whether you're doing it with words or you're doing it with pictures. And the last one is a Venn diagram, and that's for comparing and contrasting. So a Venn diagram, you do 2 circles, and this circle, you know, might be Jack, and Jake, and this circle might be Tim, and over here you're going to list things that are specific just to Jake, things that are specific just to Tim, and then how they overlap, things that they both like to do. They both like to play football and basketball, but Jake likes to play tennis and chess, and Tim likes to play soccer and volleyball, or something like that. So you're showing, comparing and contrasting. How are they the same? How are they different? And what I like to have students do, if we're doing, if you're doing something where it's specific points, I like to line them up like this, so that they can see how this contrasts with this. And that helps often in writing, because if they just have a whole jumble of things, sometimes they can't specify in their paper how they were different. So sometimes if you will have them do the little dots, so they could say this compared to this, this is how this is different from this. And then of course in the middle it would be how they were the same. So I hope that was helpful. If it was, please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you later. Bye!